Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Dave, how's it going? So, seeing that it's coming up to the end of the year now, I thought I'd do a special piece. And kinda my recent videos I've been posting, I've just been using a finger blending technique, which I really enjoy as it's quite loose and quite arty. But in this video I'm going to be using charcoal and a makeup brush technique, which is probably the best way to go about kind of doing a fairly realistic piece. So I start the canvas off by just laying down some basic charcoal, and then using my smallest makeup brush I just go in and start marking out some of the kind of details. This particular method does take quite a bit of time, and yeah, but the results are absolutely beautiful. So just using a charcoal pencil, just kind of marking in some of the hair, and what that will do is that will leave a little bit of charcoal dust, and then I'll just go back in with the makeup brush, maybe a medium sized one, and just start blending it out. You can see here with the solid black that I put down with a charcoal block, I'm brushing it. Now this will lift the solid black, but don't worry about that, you can go back in later towards the end of the drawing and put down that solid black. By doing this it leaves a lot of dust on the canvas, and you can just go in with your makeup brushes and very easily use that kind of as your palette. I would recommend, if you are kind of using this brush technique, standing up, have a little rail at the end of your drawing board, because all this dust is going to end up on your feet, and if you're like me and you like to wear flip-flops, yeah, just use your imagination. So I'm not too concerned just yet about kind of really focusing on all them little details. I just want to kind of mark out the kind of general tones, getting kind of some soft and mid tones down, and then towards the end of the drawing I'll go in and kind of get them kind of highlights and darker tones down. So I think in this drawing I would have used maybe 3 or 4 different makeup brushes, one being a very small hard one which I'm using here, and this is great for just kind of blacking out areas and kind of just getting little details in. And then for kind of wider areas I move up to a kind of a medium sized makeup brush, and this is quite good for just kind of blending it out. And then just to get them gradients I move up then to the larger makeup brush, which then kind of blends everything, and you get a lovely transition in the tones. For those of you who haven't actually watched the Wednesday TV series on Netflix, it's absolutely fantastic. I think I binge watched it in about 2 days, and yeah, it was absolutely great, and I'm looking forward to the new season coming out. If you're kind of using TikTok, you see now everyone's copying the Wednesday dance, and yeah, there was no way I was going to do that in this video. I'm too cool for that. So just using a charcoal block here, just kind of marking in all them kind of black areas, and like I did earlier I'll just go with a makeup brush then and just kind of smooth it out, which will leave like a dark grey. This is an excellent technique for anyone that kind of wants to push realism, and if you really had the time and the patience you could kind of push this to a hyper realistic piece, but it just does take a lot of time to go in with the kind of small mono eraser and kind of finer charcoal pencils. I haven't got the time or patience just at the moment to do a hyperrealism piece. So yeah, I'm happy with a nice realism piece. So I made a video there previously about how I kind of get my images ready, my reference images, and I like to use a lot of contrast. So I'll take an image that I'm quite happy to work with, and I'll put that in Photoshop, and I'll play around with the curves and levels until I have a really high contrast image. This actually takes a wee bit of time, just kind of get the image right, but it's really worth kind of focusing on your foundation. So at this stage in the drawing, now I'm kind of working on those kind of mid-tones, and this is when the canvas will really kind of start to come to life. And yeah. So as I mentioned earlier, when I put in all them solid blacks, I used the makeup brush to kind of just darken it out. This will turn the solid blacks into like a dark grey tone. So towards the end of the drawing, I go back in and just make everything a solid black using my finger, and then by using the finger blending technique, this will kind of drag some of the gradients into the mid-tones. It's a beautiful technique. I really do recommend giving it a go. You'd be surprised how easy it actually is once you get the hang of it. And yeah, I can apply this to pretty much every canvas, and everything just works quite smoothly. So this is probably the most important stage of the whole drawing, where I go in with my eraser and just get all them whites and highlights in. So this was a little bit of an experiment here in the TV series when Wednesday is kind of in the, it's like a, I don't know what you want to call it, it's like a little kind of dance. The guys pull a prank, and it's almost like animal blood that sprays throughout the dance, but it's just dye. So I didn't want to take away from all the tones, so I just put a few little kind of red ink drops in, just to kind of, I don't know, just it's symbolic to the TV show. I'm very cautious where I put the red in as well. I don't want to kind of complicate the drawing itself, so I'm focusing on balance. So there's a lot of black on the right hand side of the image, so I put more red on the left hand side just to create some balance. But yeah, absolutely super happy with this image, and big thank you to everyone who's subscribed and continues to follow. It means an awful lot to me, and I hope everyone had a good Christmas, and yeah, I'll see you all in the new year. Take care everyone, and oh yeah, if you're new to the channel, please give us a subscribe. This kind of really helps boost the content, and it also gives me that drive to keep pushing more videos. Much love, see you later.